The next item that I wanted to talk about here is a little bit more about really another big digital transformation challenge. One of the things that companies struggle with is how to make the most of their data. And fortunately, we're able to help with that. And part of that is, well, actually don't take it from me. We have someone who's a very deep expert when it comes to these challenges with data inside the digital transformation space, and I'll hand that over at this point. So Arlen, can I tag you in to talk a little bit about this whole digital transformation data space?
Thanks, Kevin. We'll do that. So I really don't know why we're talking about this, Kevin, because we all know that Modbus has been around for the last 45 years, so we're probably good to go, right? So, but you're right. Data is vital to decision making, and in many industrial organizations, huge amounts of data are stranded in data silos and inaccessible. I would say that, the proponents would say 80% or more of their important data is stranded in their field devices. And I would argue that in many industries, that's probably closer to 90 to 95% of information that we could be using is stranded either in the devices or in the applications that are polling the devices. So when we look at this and we think about, well, we really, our mantra has been for digital transformation is number one, whenever possible, connect devices to infrastructure, not to applications. Number two is be able to provide a single source of truth for your process variables and for your models as far out on the edge as you can. And number three is be able to demonstrate a better, faster, more reliable, more scalable, more secure OT system first and foremost. Because if we can't do that, we won't get the tools in the field that we need for real digital transformation. So when we couple devices, kind of hard code them, if you will, with a protocol to another application, we can't be serendipitous with that data. And the other thing is that taking, again, my example, Modbus, so I've got Modbus register 40,001, it's got a value of 12, right? That's all I know. Well, I have to add, as a human, I've got to go in and edit that point and give it context. I have to give it a name, I have to give it a value, I have to give it engineering high, engineering low, and any other thing that I want to associate with that process variable. So if we look at the proposition, today versus the reality, is that up until now, what we've been looking at is, again, there's this propensity to, oh, it's digital transformation, therefore it must be IT down to OT. And don't get me wrong, the tools and the capabilities that we've got with cloud computing are awesome. But we've got to think of it the other way around. Think of it as the reality is we need to get the tools and the platforms in place to enable our OT infrastructure to be cloud ready to start with. So this isn't IT down to OT, it's OT tools in the plant, in the facility, giving us the capability to be ready to plug in the cloud applications as they become viable. So what we're talking about here is kind of a data problem, if you will, of OT data, which, again, this is tribal knowledge. And the fact of the matter is that for the next decade, or probably even more, we're going to have to deal with the fact that we've got proprietary data, we've got processes, we've got tribal knowledge on the plant floor. And we need the tools to be able to take that data, give it context, so that we can start meeting the needs of IT. Now, I look at this and, we say, oh, well, come on, guys, that's a value of 3. And we're guilty, if you will, as OT, as PLC programmers, as technicians, of not understanding that our data, although we may understand it on a day-to-day basis, we're not making it very friendly for other people, other applications within the enterprise to discover that data and to be able to make it available to everybody in the enterprise. So Ignition solves this problem by giving us a set of tools to seamlessly bring OT technology and IT technology together in an open platform based on IT standards. So Ignition talks to PLCs just as easy as it talks to an SQL database, which makes it easy to get access to all of your enterprise's important data on a single platform.